What's up, Reefers, and welcome back to another video here at AquaSD. My name is Jack, and today we are doing a new episode of the top 10 favorite corals that came in one of our recent shipments. In addition, we will be giving you some tips on how to keep them happy and healthy. All of these corals are available for purchase on our website, so if you see something you want, head over to aquasd.com and grab it before someone else beats you to it. Now let's get into the video. The first coral on our list at number 10 is the OG Glitter Goni. Glitter Gonis have really taken the market by storm over the past few years, and this one is the original that really put the hobby onto the glitter craze. These are referred to as Glitter Gonis due to the presence of all those little metallic speckles throughout the flesh. Because of those speckles, the coral appears to be glittering as it moves in the flow. This specific piece has bright green stems and those purple tips, which really pop when you add all the glitter. When it comes to keeping Gonis, we recommend the following. For placement, Gonis can be kept in most parts of the tank, but should be kept in Goni-specific gardens if possible to avoid stinging or being stung by other corals. For lighting, we recommend low to moderate lighting, around 75 to 125 par for the best growth. Too much light can cause bleaching or make them close up. For flow, moderate flow is great to keep them moving around in the water column. Too much flow can make them close up, and too little flow can cause detritus buildup. For feeding, in our experience, Gonis can really benefit from feeding with particulate foods like Reefroids. Next on our list at number 9 is this electric Mango Bowerbanki. Bowerbankis have really jumped in popularity within the hobby recently as more really unique color combinations come to the market. This one is no exception to that rule, as it is super bright and has some awesome colors present. It has those deep green mouths and bright yellow polyps which have some hints of red that appear sporadically throughout the colony. Not only is it colorful, but this is a nice colony already, so there is no need to wait for it to grow out from a small frag like most of the ones you would find available online. If you are looking for something unique to add to your tank, this is definitely one to consider. Here are some tips to consider when keeping Bowerbankis. For placement, you should keep them in the bottom third of the tank where they won't get blasted by light or flow. For lighting, we recommend low lighting or a shaded area around 50 to 100 par, as they don't usually like a lot of intense light. For flow, Bowers need low flow, just enough to keep them clean of detritus, but not so much that the flesh becomes damaged. For feeding, Bowers don't need to be fed, but target feeding of meaty or particulate foods can really accelerate their growth. The next coral we will be highlighting is this rainbow Convict Chalice. Chalices have always been one of the best ways to add some great color to any tank, as they come in so many unique color combinations. This thing is an absolute stunner and sure to stand out in your aquarium. I really love the pattern and how all of the colors contrast with each other on this piece. In terms of color, you have some deep reds and bright greens in the striping, which are complemented by those yellow, pink, and orange gradients that really adds an extra pop. If you are a chalice collector, you really don't want to miss out on this one. Here are some tips that we recommend when keeping chalice corals. For placement, keep chalices in the bottom third of the tank where they won't get blasted by light or flow. For lighting, we recommend low to moderate lighting, around 80 to 120 par for the best growth. For flow, we recommend moderate flow to prevent detritus buildup and to keep the coral clean. For feeding, some target feeding with particulate foods will help chalices grow a little bit faster. Coming in at number 7 on our list is the infamous Amaze Balls Gan Aora. If you are looking for one of the nicest corals in the hobby with tons of color and flow, look no further. Gonis are really awesome corals because they look like little flowers that sway in the water column as the flow pushes across them. This Goni in specific has really made a name for itself within the hobby, as it has really unique coloration that is hard to beat. The base near the skeleton is a bright green, which then fades into a really nice gradient of various shades of orange. In addition, there are a lot of little lines and streaking that add some super cool texture to the tentacles. This one is a must-have for any Gan Aora collector. When it comes to keeping Gonis, we recommend the following. For placement, Gonis can be kept in most parts of the tank, but should be kept in Goni-specific gardens if possible to avoid stinging or being stung by other corals. For lighting, we recommend low to moderate lighting, around 75 to 125 par for the best growth. Too much light can cause bleaching or make them close up. For flow, moderate flow is great to keep them moving around in the water column. Too much flow can make them close up, and too little flow can cause detritus buildup. For feeding, in our experience, Gonis can really benefit from feeding with particulate foods like Reefroids. The next coral and number 6 on our list is this rainbow Symphilia showpiece. Symphilias are a classic within the hobby and have been around for quite some time now. They are relatively easy to keep and make for a great addition to any LPS lover's tank. This one in particular has an insane combination of colors present. The large polyps have really nice blues and greens in the oral disc, and then you have those standout reds, yellows, and oranges on the outer edges, which are complemented by a little bit of green that really give it that rainbow look. When keeping Symphilia, we recommend the following. For placement, keep them in the bottom and middle thirds of the tank where they won't get too much light and have some space to avoid stinging or being stung by other corals. For lighting, we recommend low to moderate lighting, around 100 to 200 par. Too much light can cause them to bleach. For flow, low to moderate flow is best. Too much flow can damage the coral, while too little flow can cause detritus buildup. For feeding, target feeding of meaty or particulate foods can really accelerate their growth. The coral at number 5 on our list is this Holy Grail torch. Torches are hands down one of the best corals when it comes to adding some movement into any reef tank. Holy Grails are especially prized because of their bright colors, as they really pop under blue lighting. This specific torch is as bright as they come. It's got a bright green base that has yellow where the tentacles meet the base. Then you have the tentacles, which start green and fade to yellow as they get closer to the tips. This is a splitting head and would be a perfect addition to any collector's torch garden. When keeping torches, we recommend the following. For placement, torches do best when placed midway up the tank and require a lot of space because of their long tentacles, which have a powerful sting. For lighting, we recommend moderate lighting, around 125 to 200 par for the best growth and color. Initially start them lower and gradually move up until they are comfortable and open nicely. For flow, moderate to high flow is best to get those tentacles swaying in the water column, but be careful not to have too much flow or you can damage the flesh. For feeding, torches don't need to be fed, but will definitely benefit from feeding of particulate foods for better growth. Number 4 on our list is this hot mess hammer. Hammers are awesome because they have really nice color combinations and are a great way to add a little bit of flow to your tank. In addition, they tend to be on the easier side when it comes to keeping euphilia, so they make for a great addition to any tank regardless of that reefer's experience level. This specific piece is a really nice branching hammer with those bright green stems. Then you have the bicolor tips that have a deep purple complemented by some really nice gold. You won't find many hammers as unique as this one out there, so it really is a rare find. When keeping hammers, we recommend the following. For placement, hammers can be kept in most parts of the tank, but should only be kept near other hammers or frog spawn to avoid coral warfare. For lighting, we recommend moderate lighting, around 100 to 150 par for the best growth, as too much light can cause bleaching or make them close up. For flow, moderate flow is great to keep them dancing in the water column. Too much flow will make them close up, and too little flow can cause detritus buildup. For feeding, hammers do not need to be fed, but definitely benefit from target feeding of particulate foods like reef roids. Next on our list at number 3 is this From the Vault Aan Lord. Lords are a great addition to any tank as they tend to be relatively easy to keep and come in a wide variety of different color combinations. As you can see, this thing really has some unique coloration to it as well. The mouth is a bright red and green, which is then surrounded by a ring of a different shade of green, and then finally the edge of the polyp is a burnt orange with green striping. This one definitely won't be in the shop long, so don't miss your chance to grab it before it's gone. Here are some tips to consider when keeping acans. For placement, you should keep acans in the bottom third of the tank where they won't get blasted by light or flow. For lighting, we recommend low lighting or a shaded area around 50 to 100 par, as they usually don't like a lot of intense light. For flow, acans need low flow, just enough to keep them clean of detritus, but not so much that they become agitated and close up. For feeding, acans don't need to be fed, but target feeding of meaty or particulate foods can really accelerate their growth. Number 2 on our list is this collector's red carpet anemone. Anemones are not technically corals and are actually a type of invertebrate. These anemones have a really unique look to them and can grow quite large, making for a great addition to a larger tank with some extra real estate on the sand bed. As you can see, this anemone has some really nice colors. It has a blue base that is complemented by the red tentacles that fade into a bright pink as you get closer to the edge of the disc. This is definitely a perfect addition to any anemone lover's tank. When keeping carpet anemones, we recommend the following. For placement, carpet anemones do best when placed on the sand bed with some rock work so that they can put their foot down, but don't be surprised if it moves around until it finds a place it likes. For lighting, we recommend moderate to high lighting, around 200 to 350 par for the best growth and to get them to fully expand. For flow, low to moderate flow is best. You want an indirect and pulsing flow that gets the tentacles swaying around, but not so much that the anemone gets annoyed and decides to go for a walk. For feeding, carpet anemones can really benefit from target feeding with meaty foods, and we highly recommend doing so. Finally, coming in at number 1 on our list is this Master Explosion Scolia. Scolies continue to be one of the most highly desirable corals for collectors. They have some of the best color combinations and also have an awesome feeding response. This specific Scolia is second to none when it comes to color, and it really is a true masterpiece. In terms of color, it's as if an artist took a UFO Scolia and decided to paint deep orange tiger stripes all throughout the coral. That painter then decided the orange, green, and purple weren't enough, so some yellow had to be added before they deemed the coral perfect. When keeping Scolies, we recommend the following. For placement, keep them on the sand bed or in the bottom third of the tank where they won't get too much light or flow. For lighting, we recommend low to moderate lighting, around 75 to 125 par for the best growth and color. For flow, low to moderate flow is best. Too much flow can make it difficult for them to catch food. For feeding, target feeding with meaty or pelletized foods is the best for growth and to get that really cool feeding response. All right, that covers everything for this episode, and we hope you enjoyed getting to see some of our favorite corals here at AquaSD. If you like this video and want to see more videos like this, give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. We want to know which coral you like the most, so leave a comment below telling us your favorite coral from this video. Also, if you missed the last video, check out the link on the screen and give it a watch. Until next time, happy reefing and see you soon.